everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks with Hachiman, and bringing you something special. I'm bringing you the first investment I have made in World of Tanks since the Thunderbolt 7. I have not bought anything including premium time, and what I'm bringing you here is the T26E3 Eagle 7. Now, I'm sure you've already heard a little bit about this tank. When I heard they released this tank, I found a way to buy it, because the T26E3 Eagle 7, I knew the story of Eagle 7 long ago, and I've seen the footage, and you can find it on YouTube very easily, of it knocking out a Panther tank in near Cologne Cathedral. If World of Tanks, if Wargaming wants to find a way to take my money, the best thing they can do is come out with an historic tank, and that will absolutely happen. Now, this tank, you need to think of it as a heavy tank, not a medium. It's a Tier 7 American Premium medium tank, but you cannot play this as if it is a medium. You should not play this as if it is a medium. You should play this tank as if it is a heavy tank when you are top tier. Okay, when you're bottom tier, you need to find a way to make it a support tank. It has the 90mm gun that the M26 Pershing historically had, which is not the top gun on our tech tree version. The penetration is, off top of my head, it's like 172, but your premium ammo is also premium AP and only gets a little bit higher, like it's barely in the low 2s. So its standard rounds are perfectly good for dealing with anything you need to deal with at Tier 7. Tier 8 and 9, you're going to have a little bit of trouble, and the premium rounds are not that great. This tank has a top speed of 48 kph, but as you can see here, I'm not quite getting to 48. I'm getting close, but I'm not quite getting to 48, and you will not, as a general rule, unless you're going downhill. It does have a reverse speed of 20, which is great, and 10 degrees of gun depression. 101mm of frontal hull armor, 101mm of frontal turret armor. Frontal hull is very well angled, and you've also got 76 degrees of side armor, which gives you the ability, especially when you're top tier, to side scrape. Your side is not going to get overmatched as a general rule. Now, I got a little... Okay, when you're tier 7 in this, you can, when you're top tier, you can bully enemy tanks, and I got a little ahead of myself on that against that T1 Heavy. I just kind of took a shot that really was a stupid shot to take. I should have planted in his side or hit the flat spot above where the driver visor doors are and stuff. But you can see I'm already taking fire. No one's really doing much about it. That was a poor shot there on the T34, or T43 rather. But you can see I'm bouncing his return fire. That 101 on the hull is excellent with its angling. And the 101 on the turret is okay, except on the gun mantlet you're substantially thicker, obviously. And I'm doing exactly what I said. I'm playing bully right now. I'm up against a horde of lower tier tanks, and I'm just using my DPM, which is overall very good. The stock reload time on this tank is 8.25 seconds. You're going to put a rammer on it, obviously. And then you really want a BIA cruise so that you can get it substantially lower than 8.25. I do not run Cola on this tank. It's a gas-powered machine, 20% chance of fire. I feel much better running a fire extinguisher, even though I have a very good crew and a couple guys at firefighting and preventative maintenance. I just don't feel good about that. So, yeah, I don't run Cola. Something you should also know, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, what you're actually going to see here, I've played 7 games in this tank as of this recording. You're actually about to see Game 1 and Game 2 as they were played in order. And then the third game, it was, I don't know, my 5th game in it or something, 6th game in it, something like that. And it's going to you're going to see a few different things in these matches. Here you get to see how this tank can just bully the lower tier tanks. I mean, it's very good at it. Even though the top speed's 48, your specific power is it's under 13. It's like 12.65 or something. So you don't have true medium tank mobility, okay? Because it just takes a minute to get this thing up and moving. So really, if you're in a tier 7 battle, play this as a frontline heavy tank. Okay, this tank represents what I always have said about the M26 Pershing in World of Tanks. I've always said the M26 Pershing should not be a tier 8 medium tank. It should be a tier 7 heavy tank, and that is what they've done here. And I'm very excited by it, even if the engine's a little weak. The gun handling is kind of crappy. I fired a little late on that. It's not. That's not fair. Okay, look, its accuracy is 0.39. Okay, which is not good. But 0.37 is what I got with my Brothers in Arms crew. Real quick, post-game stats coming up. This is my first game ever, second class, the steel wall and the high caliber. You'll be able to see the individual stats here in a moment. As I flip through the pages. Like I said, I was just recording this live. First on the team. 0.37 is okay, but it's not fantastic. You're going to struggle sniping with this tank. I had a shot in a game, one of the games I played that's not featured here, where probably 10% of my reticle was below the tank, and 10% of the top left part of my reticle was bordered by his engine deck and turret. And so I had 80% of my reticle had his tank in it, and I took the shot, and it went right between his engine deck and turret. And it's like, you've got to be kidding. And it's because I was at 300-something meters. Keep this up close, okay? Keep this guy close to medium range, 250 meters and less, to really improve your accuracy. Now, you saw it as top tier, bullying all the tier 5, 6s. Now you're going to see it as bottom tier. On Glacier, and Glacier's a map that I hate with a passion. I have never done well on this map. Well, until now. What else do you need to know about this guy? Carries a ton of ammunition. You should never run out of shells. Your DPM is not as good as, say, a Comet, but it's better, far better than a T20 or a Leo. And the gun is very, very good on penetration. You shouldn't have to load a lot of premium rounds. And let's be blunt, if you're shooting at the front of an STI, even with premium, you're not going to go through. So use that intelligently. And I just love the look of this tank. It just looks great. Well, Hatchie, it looks just like an M26 Pershing and a T26E3. Well, it's because they're all the T26 family, but you know, it's just a quintessential look for me. And it's funny because this video could also double as a Tank of the War video, that's a series that I'm working on for you guys, because this tank did serve in the war. But anyway, not here or there. So Glacier coming up on the middle ridge, being very careful. We've got him in the background. He was tracked. I took him out. First kill of the game. Always nice to take out a light tank that quickly and early without any real loss to anybody. And then, speaking of, there you go. Take out his track. And he's gone. So I got some assist damage for knocking his track out. I really wasn't trying to take out his track, but that's what I mean by the accuracy of the gun. That wasn't that long range a shot. Shell went right of the center of the reticle, took his track out. Now that still worked out for me, but I'd much rather had the actual damage on him. He was going to die anyway. He was not getting up that in time. And you can see that in these types of maneuverings, the tank just feels a little sluggish. And that's because of that. I think it's 12.65 specific power. Very low for a medium tank. Frankly, it's not even that impressive for a heavy tank. I don't think, yeah. I didn't think I was actually going to get a shot on him. I figured he was going to die before it happened. And I'm being very cautious here because I'm so used to tank destroyers and artillery raining down fire on this middle ridge, but it just doesn't seem to be happening in this instance. KV-4. put that shot at the side of his turret. I did actually hit that shot, but you'll see in the post-game stats it did no damage. And then he's out of sight. So now I'm hunting other targets, and I'm getting more and more aware that I'm just not going to be shot at in this position. So come for the LTG. He sees what's going on. He's like, oh hell no, I'm out of here. I back up to bounce his shot right off my turret armor. Get one, pull back again, and then he goes running back behind the ridge. Now then there's the T-54. I think he's going to die anyway, but I'd really like to help my team make sure he dies. So I'm going to slide in right behind him, knowing I'm probably going to get hit in the rear by the LTG. Yep, there it is. But he's a low alpha gun, so I'm not that worried about it. Come in, secure the kill on the T-54, take another hit from the LTG. You've got a 1,300 hit point pool in this tank. That's pretty good. That one goes into the track, get my track up. That's pretty good, so you can afford to trade sometimes when you need to. You can take a couple shots from these low caliber weapons. Now I feel like he's trying to bait me out, and I can't figure out why, because I really don't think he has any support. So I'm going to very cautiously come around the corner. There he is, put one into him as he runs away. And then he stops for some reason. I bounce one shot, and he starts to back and forth up and, you know, do the back and forth thing, trying to mess up the shot. But the LTG is a really long tank. Just aim at the center of it and blast away. So he's gone. Now I want to help with the heavy tanks. Obviously our team is doing very well in this. And you can see I'm just not quite breakaway fast. It's fine. The mobility's fine, but it's not super fast. That shot doesn't pin, just takes the track. That shot does. KV-3 fires. I believe I blocked that with my track, actually. I could be wrong. And then there's the kill. I mean, I locked him down. That one shot didn't pin, but it locked him down so that we could finish him off. I've got two more shots into him. My buddy hit him once. And, you know, again, this is where the mobility fails a little bit, because I'm hoping to race around here to pick up a little more damage. And she's just not quite fast enough. 48 kph top speed, you really don't get there. I get one into the rear, and they finish him off. So now it's to turn around. And let's be blunt. You probably see this coming. My match is pretty much over at this point. So, it's a nice all-around tank. If you're looking for a medium tank to bomb around the battlefield in, this is not the one for you. If you need an American medium tank that drives more like a medium, you want a T25 Pilot 1, maybe even an M46 KR. I think the Pilot is a little bit quicker, but the KR's armor is slightly more reliable. But if you want something that plays more like a heavy tank, and yet you can train a medium tank crew. And this is a tier 7. It doesn't make a lot of money. Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, my second game ever in the tank, and in a tier 9 game, earns me the Ace Tanker. I was very proud of that fact. I mean, 2 games and you get a second class and an ace. And I'm no quickie baby. I'm not one of those guys. First on the team, tier 7 tank and tier 9 game. You do surprisingly well against HE ammo in this tank. Artie is really a pest, but I've been hit by Artie a number of times, and somehow you seem to come through it more or less okay. Low caliber tank guns of your tier have a really hard time with you. Now I'm going to show you one more match. Now this one is a first class, and I don't have the post-game stats because I played this one after the fact. This was not live recorded at the time. So this one is a first class, not an ace tanker, but there's something I want you to see on this. Talk about the gun handling for a minute. I told you the default dispersion is 0.39. This tank does very well with firing on the move. It's firing while moving, while the turret moving. It does very well with that. I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but they're good, like most American tanks. And for special equipment, in addition to your rammer, you should have vertical stabilizers to improve that firing on the move. Now, I'm going to a favorite spot of mine in a medium tank on this map, and usually I would be there by now, but you can see this machine's just not quite getting up into the 40 speed that you're talking about. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get spotted there, but I think I overestimated how close he came to me. This row of bushes is so important when there's enemy heavy tanks on the team charging for the city, because you can get up into this spot and you can generally spot them as they come. Talking about the spotting range, this guy, his stock spotting range is 370 or 380. The reason this is important is because the T20, the Tier 7 American medium tank that also has a 90mm gun but much lower DPM, has better spotting range. So generally on my American medium tanks I run ventilation. I really donked that shot. I can't believe I missed it. But on the other hand, I told you this gun can frustrate. Oh, Tog, yes please. Damage pinata. La cucaracha. There he is. You're not getting away from me, buddy. I put coated optics on this guy. I usually put vents for that 5% boost to all my skills, but because the view range is a little bit lower than what I'm used to in my American mediums, I thought coated optics was better, and it certainly paid off for me there as I'm spotting that Tog and just allowing me to just chop him down to size. He's not getting away. Oh, set him on fire, and he dies. And then there's the Black Prince. Yeah, that shot had no chance. I was actually hoping to track him, but you can see the shot went up and to the left, skated off the top of this hole. But that one gets into his side. Like another one, not going to get it there. He's behind the building. There he is. Yep, right into the side. And this is actually a pretty long range for this gun. I'm doing okay with it. Alright, so, now what? Well, I'm running out of targets. Usually this position's a bit more target-rich environment than it is right here. I highly recommend the coated optics over the vents on this tank. I almost always use vents on my tanks, but on this one, and the vertical stabilizer is a must, and you'll see why here in a couple minutes. Just keep watching this replay. So, looking around for something to shoot at. Not quite heavy tank. There we go. Look at that. I mean, yes, I didn't aim all the way, but for God's sakes, that shot missed by a mile. Went high again, right over him. And that's why you don't snipe with this when you can avoid it. Alright, I want to move up. Spotted. That T-34 that I'm shooting at, T-34-85, I guess it is, I didn't have as good a shot as it looks like. I was only getting actually a sliver of him above the edge of the roof of a building. And then that shot missed. But it really was not as clean a shot as it looked like. I realized after the fact that it was a very low percentage shot. Ugh. IKV, I hate those things. Freaking cockroaches. Put one into him as he zips through. Reminds me of the E25. I keep firing. Oh, that shot. Couldn't get it off in time before he went behind the building and he gets away from me. But someone gets him. There we go. That's the one I wanted right there. Alright. So now, this map, you always reach this point eventually, where you've cleared this side and now you gotta run across this damned field. And it seems like it's impossible to do that without getting hit, without getting spotted by the tank destroyers and then getting lit up by Artie. Stoke 3, no luck there. He's behind the edge, or the ledge rather, the ridge, that's what I'm trying to say. Move in towards the base, not sure where the Artie is, but they're usually in one of a couple positions. Waiting for the T-27. Oh, I'm spotted. Evasive maneuver. Bounce one shot. Look at that. Did you see that shot? Full move. Full speed because I was going downhill. Still moving. Boom. And that second shot was a lot harder than the first one. That's why you want your vert stabs on this tank. Without the vertical stabilizer, maybe that shot hits, maybe it doesn't, but the vertical stabilizer substantially improved the possibility of hitting that shot. And that's really what this whole video, this whole third replay was about, so that you could see that accuracy on the move. Couple of arties left. And you saw I fired it. Here, watch this. I mean, look at this. Ricochet! Either I hit a spot that's not a hitbox or I bounce it off his gun, I'm not sure. He manages to get that shot. I've got HE loaded. I'm stunned. Full HE pin there. Can I manage the kill? Probably not, because here comes the SU-85 for the ram kill and suicide. But still, what's that, 3,000 damage? And it was a first-class mastery badge, but you get to see the accuracy on the move. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, the T26E3 Tier 7 medium tank, the Eagle 7. I said it at the beginning and I'll say it again. This machine has given me a reason to spend money on World of Tanks. I have not spent anything on World of Tanks in forever. You can see that I'm actually running a standard account here. I don't have any gold. I'm not spending money on this game. I've invested so much into it, probably $1,000 maybe, I don't know, in the last 6 years. But this one got my money. And if Wargaming wants to keep doing that, they just need to keep putting out these historical machines, these tanks that actually served in war. It's fun to play. It looks great. If it's your kind of machine, don't get me wrong. And anyway, hey guys, I really hope you liked this video. I really hope you'll give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. I hope that you'll subscribe if you're not already, because again, my YouTube channel is, I'm not a super unicum. I'm a normal guy who's pretty good, and this channel is for other normal guys who will never be as good as guys like Quickie Baby. You know, we can't duplicate what he can on the battlefield, but through a good understanding of the game and its mechanics and the machines, we can make an impact and help our teams win. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.